In life, everyone wants to become someone valuable and create something meaningful. We often turn to inspirational videos, motivational quotes, or success stories online, hoping they will change us. However, no matter how much we watch, many people still do not make the progress they desire. The reason is simple. Relying on motivation alone cannot build a successful life. Motivation only creates a fleeting feeling of excitement. It is not strong enough to sustain long-term effort. A good life is not built from moments of intense emotion, but from habits, discipline, and small actions repeated consistently every day. Without truly incorporating discipline into your life, all sources of motivation will quickly fade. You may feel excited today, promising yourself that tomorrow you will change, study, work, or train harder. But without discipline and daily commitment, after just a few days, you will fall back into old habits. If you still do not fully understand this, follow the story below. It is a small story, but one that can change your perspective on success and show you why discipline is the true foundation for turning dreams into reality. Only by maintaining discipline can good things begin. Ethan was a boy living in a small town with a big dream for the future. He always wanted to achieve something great, become influential, and gain success admired by all. Every day, Ethan sought familiar sources of inspiration, watching motivational videos, reading success stories, and listening to speeches from famous people. Each time, he felt a surge of enthusiasm, as if he could change the world. Ethan often told himself, "Tomorrow I will study 6 hours a day. Starting tomorrow, I will change everything." Just thinking about it made him feel excited and hopeful. Yet that feeling quickly vanished, like a flame that ignites and then dies out. After a few days of trying, Ethan returned to his old habits: procrastination, laziness, and making excuses. The repeated cycle of effort and failure left Ethan tired and frustrated. He did not understand why he always started with strong determination, but could not maintain it. Discouragement crept into his thoughts, making him feel useless. He began to doubt his dreams, his abilities, and wondered if he was truly meant to achieve something great. Ethan did not realize that the real cause was not his dreams or lack of talent, but his reliance on temporary motivation instead of the discipline needed to see things through. One day, while lost in his own disappointment, Ethan met Ben, a friend he had known for a long time. That day, Ethan noticed Ben was different from others. Ben was not the type who only talked about change. He truly lived the change he created. Ben woke up very early every day, strictly followed a daily routine, completed his studies on time, and steadily improved little by little over time. All of this amazed Ethan. Looking at Ben, Ethan felt both admiration and confusion. He could not understand how Ben could be so consistent. One evening, unable to contain his curiosity, Ethan asked, "Ben, how can you do all these things every day? How do you keep motivation and enthusiasm for so long?" Ethan believed Ben must have some special secret. Ben just smiled and calmly replied, "Ethan, I don't rely on motivation. I rely on discipline." His answer surprised Ethan and left him a little confused. He asked again, "Isn't motivation the key to success?" Ben shook his head. "Tomorrow, come to the riverside with me. I will show you something more important than motivation." Ethan did not fully understand Ben's words, but a strong curiosity arose in his heart. The next morning, before sunrise, Ethan arrived at the riverside, about to learn a lesson that could change his life forever. That morning, with the sky still shrouded in mist and the first rays of sunlight yet to appear, Ethan followed Ben to the riverside. The cool morning air sharpened his senses. There, Ethan saw an old fisherman sitting quietly by the water. His hands were rough but strong,
and his eyes reflected the experience of a lifetime of labor. Ben gently approached and said, "Sir, could you tell Ethan the story about discipline that you once shared with me?" The fisherman looked at Ethan, smiled kindly, and nodded. He pointed to the flowing river and said, "Do you see this river, young man? I come here at the same time every day. Whether it's freezing cold, pouring rain, or blazing sun, I sit here, cast my net, and wait." Ethan asked curiously, "Is it because you enjoy fishing so much?" The fisherman smiled gently. "No, it's my responsibility. If I only came when I felt like it, many days would be lost. If I only did this in good weather, my family would go hungry." Ethan listened intently. The fisherman continued, "Motivation is like a lightning bolt. It shines brightly and then disappears. Discipline is different. It's like a small flame burning steadily every day, no matter what changes around you." At that moment, Ethan realized what he had been missing was not dreams or willpower, but the perseverance the fisherman spoke of. The first lesson on discipline began that very morning. As Ethan listened, the fisherman suddenly pointed to a tall bamboo near the riverside. He asked, "Have you heard the story of the bamboo tree?" Ethan shook his head. The fisherman smiled and began to tell the tale. Long ago, a farmer planted a bamboo seed. Every day he cared for it carefully, watering, fertilizing, shielding it from pests and sun. One year passed, with no sign of growth. People laughed, saying he was wasting his time. Yet the farmer persisted. Year 2, year 3, and even year 4 passed. The ground remained still. Mockery grew louder, but the farmer never gave up. He believed in the seed, and in the process he followed. In the 5th year, within just 6 weeks, the bamboo suddenly shot up to 90 feet. Ethan's eyes widened in surprise. The fisherman explained, "During the previous years, the tree was not idle. It was quietly growing deep, strong roots underground to prepare for its leap." He placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder and said, "Discipline is like that bamboo. You may not see immediate results, but if you strive a little every day, you're building the foundation for future success." Ethan felt a shift within him. He began to understand that persistence, not momentary inspiration, created real progress in life. The fisherman's words echoed in the quiet riverside like a light illuminating Ethan's thoughts. For so long, Ethan had been eager to see results quickly, wanting everything to change instantly, but he had never thought about building a strong foundation like the bamboo. Now he understood. Daily perseverance, however small. Ethan decided to start over. He established a daily routine, studying on time, exercising, waking up early, and never procrastinating. The first days were difficult. Some mornings he was tired, some days he didn't want to do anything. But whenever that happened, the image of the bamboo quietly growing its roots for 5 years appeared in his mind, reminding him that success does not come from impulse, but from steady steps. Day by day, Ethan began to feel real change. No longer the easily discouraged boy he had been, he became more determined, stronger, and more mature. Discipline began to rewrite Ethan's life, one day at a time. Once he realized the true power of discipline, Ethan embarked on a new path in life. He was no longer someone who only talked about change, but someone who acted every day. He created a clear schedule and committed to it regardless of his feelings. Even on sleepy mornings, he got up on time. Even on exhausting days, he exercised. And even when his mind felt down or distracted, he still opened his books to study, even just a little. These small, consistent changes gradually became a powerful force. At first, Ethan did not notice the difference, but over time, the townspeople began to take notice. Ethan became diligent, mature, and reliable. Weeks turned into months, months into years of consistent effort. He no longer relied on fleeting inspiration, but on the steady habits he had cultivated. Eventually, Ethan became one of the most respected people in town. Anyone facing difficulties or wanting to change their life would ask him for advice. Each time Ethan smiled and said, "Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is the key. If you persist in doing small things well every day, big results will naturally follow." Ethan understood that success is not a sudden explosion, but a steady journey built from repeated efforts. And that was the most valuable lesson he wanted to share with everyone. Over time, Ethan's persistent journey brought changes he once thought impossible. Remarkably, he did not achieve success through a single break. Ethan realized success is not a sudden leap, but the result of thousands of small, consistent actions. He wanted to remind everyone that anyone can build their future if they are patient, persistent, and disciplined. Each small step today leads to great achievements tomorrow. This is the true power of discipline. In conclusion, Ethan wanted to share an important message. Success is not something you wait for, it is something you create daily. Motivation may come unexpectedly, sparking excitement for hours or days, but without discipline, all efforts fade. Discipline is persistent and quiet, helping you move forward even without inspiration or energy. It is a small, steady flame that continuously burns and guides you to great results. Ethan emphasized that to reach goals, you don't need to do great things immediately. The key is consistently doing small, correct actions every day. Each small step today lays the foundation for great success tomorrow. No need to wait for perfect timing or inspiration. Start today, maintain discipline, and you will see life change positively. Through his story, Ethan hoped everyone would understand that anyone can change and build their future with patience, perseverance, and discipline. There is no shortcut to success, and every effort matters if you stay consistent. Success does not come overnight, but is the result of a long journey built from small, continuous habits.